Meatloaf Sandwiches. You know, I don't know why meatloaf constantly gets shit on. I mean, meatloaf is delicious, but the sandwiches are the food of the fucking gods. Okay, so the first thing we got to do for this meatloaf sandwich is we got to make some A1 mayonnaise. So you got about a cup of mayonnaise there, about 2 tablespoons of A1 sauce, and then just some Lowry's seasoning salt to be added, and then some freshly ground black pepper. And then you basically just want to stir this around until it, comes together, and then just stick it in the oven for at least an hour. So make this approximately, about 10, 15 minutes before you start work on your meatloaf, and you should be good. Now, on to the meatloaf itself. What you got here is 1 pound of ground pork and 2 pounds of ground beef. The ground beef is, I think, 85-15. And you want to add 1 tablespoon of prime rib steak seasoning or your favorite steak seasoning. Doesn't really matter what. And then 2 tablespoons of my all-purpose seasoning blend, which is equal parts garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and kosher salt. I've given that recipe about 10,000 times. And then just with your hands, blend the meat. Okay, and then into a meatloaf pan, we dump our loaf. And you just want to press it out nice. Make it nice and flat. Just think of Billie Eilish's chest. Okay. After you got your meatloaf all nice and flat, time to add the ketchup. If you don't like ketchup for whatever reason, you can add barbecue sauce, maybe sriracha sauce if you like it a little spicier. I've never tried buffalo sauce, although I wonder how well that would work. I wouldn't add any cheese to the top of it, because by the time the meatloaf's done, it's going to be burnt to a fucking crisp. Then in a oven set, depending on how long you want to bake this for, 300 to 350. I put mine at 350. You want to bake this till it's 165 in the dead center. It's got to be well done. We have ground pork in there. Plus, meatloaf is one of those things, you want it on the doner side. And then just, smooth out the ketchup and pop this motherfucker in the oven. Now, the meatloaf itself can be its own dinner, but this is a great way to use the leftovers. Okay, so we've got our toasted sub roll there. And on one side, I'm slathering on that A1 mayo we made a little earlier. But I'm going to skip the process because I like meatloaf sandwiches. They usually are the main course. Nice little slab of meatloaf, cut about 3/4 of an inch thick. Of course, we have to have bacon because bacon makes every goddamn thing better. Okay, and the last thing is just a slice of cheddar cheese that I kind of put in halves. And put the top bun on. And there you have it. Meatloaf sandwiches. Done.